Okay, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right, everybody. Well, welcome back. A very good evening to you, or if you're watching in the morning, afternoon, whatever time it is, hi there. Welcome back to Aaron's Show, the podcast for blind people, where we talk about issues in the blindness community. We're joined again by Melissa Dewhurst, who has a bit of an update for us about her technology. Melissa, welcome back. What is going on today? Go.
I've been on my Amazon Fire 10 tablet today, and I would struggle with YouTube, not with navigation, because everything works with screen reader wise. Like voice view, screen reader still works. It's just uploading. I know what the upload button is by voice view screen reader saying upload, but when I click it, it doesn't take me anywhere. It'll take me to a screen saying, you know, download the Creator Studio, get it on Android, and all that. And me and my brother actually tried it, and it kind of didn't work. Although the the Creator Studio went to my phone and didn't do anything to help my tablet. Has anybody ever struggled with YouTube on their devices?
I'm sure they have, Melissa. I'm sure this is a very common issue. The YouTube studio was developed, it seems to be because creators like myself and other podcasters need to be able to keep track of who is watching their content more easily, you see. And there have been a lot of problems, probably around YouTube and really all over social media with strange comments, strange people that shouldn't be watching certain things, people either not at the right age to watch certain material. So they developed this basically sister app to YouTube where you go in as a creator and you have to set certain parameters for your videos, whether they're, public, private, made for kids, not made for kids. You need to set that up for each of your videos now so that you do not get in trouble or in any violation. So anytime you upload a video, you need to make sure to let YouTube know if it's made for kids or not. And that's why all of my videos are not made for kids. I always set that so that nobody under the age of 18 is allowed to watch my content because I'm not taking any chances. It's just too
I'm
risky.
set. I'm set at that mode too. The only for adults, 18 plus.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
So
also
that's
want to talk about.
mm-hmm.
But I also want to talk about something that if you're a nerd, whether it be Marvel, DC, or lightsabers, um, nerding out accessibly, you know, like like imagine Marvel with whale comics. That would be pretty cool. They don't probably have it currently, I don't think. Um, but I did a video on my channel. I have a YouTube channel called Melissa's World. Should I spell that? Is there enough time to help the blind listeners? This way I can
um,
spell out.
Well, what's better. I appreciate that, Melissa. You know what I can do if you wouldn't mind. I could pin your channel. I could just comment below, on this video with your link. I can put your channel in the comments if you want.
I'll link my channel to you.
Well, everybody, I already have Melissa's channel, guys. So I'll just put it in the comments of my video, and then they'll be able when they scroll through the comments, they'll see your channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if I watch your content, I would already know what your channel is. Yeah, actually, yeah, that is the best way to do it, so that they go to the right page. Because
Yeah,
there's
this way they don't.
thousands. Right,
This way they don't make a mistake of going to the you know, wrong way. But
right.
but
Exactly.
but what do you think about nerd accessibility, like lightsaber accessibility? I told this to somebody in a live stream in the lightsaber community last night. Basically, I joined the guy's stream, and I told him, "Hey, can we create some lightsaber hilt accessibility for lightsaber fans, and he is thinking about it at the moment, but he thinks it's a good idea.
Well, that's good. That's really, really good. I support the idea. I think that everybody, blind or not, needs their hobby, needs their activity that they want to do, right? So
Yeah,
certainly you need to be doing your nerd activities, as you call them. I think that's a great idea.
but one nerd activity I struggle with is reading comics. Even though I can see the pictures, reading the print through my own naked eye can be kind of tricky. So I've been thinking if Marvel is listening to this, if Marvel Comics is listening to this, please incorporate Braille comics. It could help
Sure,
us greatly.
sure. Is there any company or any page that is particularly useful as far as posting these types of things is concerned? I mean, is there a Marvel like official page that I could maybe send this out to make sure that they know that that needs to happen? I mean, I completely agree with you about that, but I wouldn't know where to send the information. Who is responsible for this Marvel business?
There's a site called marvel.com, as well as they're on YouTube as well as Twitter. But if you want the main site, it's marvel.com. Um,
Can you spell it?
and capital M, lowercase ARVEL dot
Got it.
as in period
Right.
COM.
I could probably find through that website. I could probably try to find their Facebook page for you, and see if I could reach out to them to see if they can help you find some accessible links or some accessible comics. I think that's a really good thing, a really good idea there for sure. Yes.
Like, even though it's hard to read the print, somebody can feel the braille and it would read in braille Spider Man, blah, blah, blah. Um, and you'd be able to read the braille part. Like, have a variant of print to braille, print for the sighties and braille for us VIs. That would help a lot.
Right, right. I'm kind of surprised that there is not already something like this.
Yeah, like they tend to make their Spider-Man comics, if not any comic in print, and I can see the big pictures under my 5 times magnifier, but I have to get real close still to read the print, and it's just eyesore.
Yeah, and
Although,
that's not right. That's not right at all because you should be able to look at the comics without straining for sure. Yes. Yes. Mhm.
and the same is true with lightsabers. You may not be able to see your hilt, but you should be able to feel the buttons and you know feel a guard. Um, and audio that says lightsaber ignition button tab to ignite. That would be pretty neat.
I see. Well, I mean those are two you're right. I mean those are two different things. The issue of the comic book and then the lightsaber. I mean those are two different interests. They're similar but they're two different things. Mhm.
I don't mean to have double whammy interests. Um, because I like Marvel and now Star Wars. With Luke, Leia, Han Solo, um, and Marvel with Hulk, Spider Man. You know,
Right.
hobbies like that.
I think
And
I think that's really I think that's really excellent. Hmm.
what do you think, Aaron, about nerd accessibility?
As I said, I think it should be. I think these activities need to be accessibilized or accessible for you. Hmm.
And other blind nerds?
Right, and other blind people, right? Exactly. Yes. Hmm.
Like what if you can't see the comic you're getting? What if you're blind? You'd be able to feel the braille, and it would read out in braille Spider-Man and the title. Like that would be
Right.
kind of neat.
Yes. I am kind of surprised that this is not already on the market. I mean, I know that for children there are books like that, but I'm surprised that they didn't do comics like that.
Yeah, the same goes for DC Comics. Um,
Okay. Now, what's the
like
difference from okay? What's the difference from Marvel comics to DC comics?
DC Comics, you have Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, all the high-powered superheroes like Superman, Green Lantern, Batman. Um, it's basically it D and that's capital D, capital C, and it translates to Detective Comics. And
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's a site, but I would look up DC website, official DC website. I would try to look it up.
Right, right. I see. So then what is the history behind that? How is that different from Marvel?
Well, I seen a documentary on the story of Marvel and how they used to be the baby and behind DC Comics and comic sales because they were popular back then with their Superman comics. And Marvel was just the baby catching up. Now it's reverse. Marvel is ahead with their Spider-Man and, you know, Wonder, not Wonder Woman, that's DC, but they're ahead with their Spider-Man, Black Widow, and characters like that. And it'd be kind of nice if there was comic accessibility. This way, blind nerds can enjoy them just as much as your average everyday sighted person with 20/20 vision.
Right. Well, I completely agree. I think I will look into that and see what I can find about information about that. Yes. And so what when you go on these lives on these lightsaber live groups, what can you tell our listeners more about what do people talk about? I mean, it's a lightsaber, so what types of things are they saying and talking about?
Well, I've been on a YouTube channel. I don't know if I should say his name here.
No, 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 thank you. Let's not. But you can
Okay.
talk about
But
what the
I
video was. Mm-hmm.
but I've been on a YouTube video last night of somebody in the lightsaber community.
Right.
Not the people making my saber, but somebody else in the community. And he collabed with this other person, and I used my screen reader to read the chat relay and comment and read the title of the video. It's lightsaber talk, blah blah blah, live stream, and they would talk about lightsabers from different lightsaber manufacturing companies, like for example, you talk about Saberforge and their sabers, and it wasn't about specifically them, but that's just an example. Um, but this video talked about, or this stream talked about lightsaber hills and just all around hanging out lightsaber talk, where people would gather around, talk about their favorite sabers, and I said, "Hey, I'm getting a lightsaber soon. Like, we blind Star Wars nerd here." And the guy was like, "Ooh, glad you're getting a lightsaber." And the second guy who was collabing with them, it was two men in the video or stream, and they basically talked basically your all around lightsaber talk, anything lightsaber related in this stream, like from different types of sabers to how they work and what each saber does and who makes them and where you can get them.
Well,
It's not a
tell our listeners a little bit more about that. So, what are these different types of sabers? These different brands, and what are the differences, and what are the pros and cons?
well, this one guy made something called the glass flex. If you sighted people type up GLASS flex, because this one dude, it was kind of weird, but he made a Graflex Luke Skywalker a New Hope styled glass lightsaber. It was all clear, but it was shaped in the shape of Luke Skywalker's saber from A New Hope, and it's basically like, if you guys don't know what the term Graflex means, it basically means like from a flash gun in the 70s or 40s, you know, from an old camera. And George Lucas or somebody, whoever made the Star Wars film, um, they basically took that and, rearranged it to make it look and function like a lightsaber. Although it
Hmm.
wasn't, although it wasn't real, that they used special effects later, to make the blade part, obviously. Um, but if anybody knows, um, what I'm hitting to, if anybody can get a mental picture of what I mean when I say Graflex, that's basically this lightsaber. Um, it's kind of like some sort of flash gun from an old camera. It's gray and it has a little clamp on it. And if you guys ever seen A New Hope, that's the lightsaber Luke uses when he's sitting there talking to a Jedi, and Luke is trying it out for the first time. That's the lightsaber Luke uses. And these lightsaber companies, like you have Ultra Sabers, ULTRA Sabers. Then you have Saberforge, SABERFORGE, who both make lightsabers. And they look pretty neat and sound pretty cool. Some people, I forgot some company names, but yeah, Saber Trio, Saber, that's Saber with a B, Saber, TRIO, and companies like that. Some are even using Smooth Swing, which is making it swing like the real saber from the films. Like every little swing you do, it'll go vroom, vroom, vroom.
I see. I see. So it basically does everything but actually burn you. The idea in the
Yeah,
movie is
doesn't cut
portrayed
you.
as, well, it's not really cutting, it burns. It's a light, a flame thing. Is It's like gas basically that would burn you if it touches your skin in the movie. That's how it's described.
Oh, because Luke had his hand sabered off, his right hand sabered off.
I see. Yes. Well, probably in the film they were portraying it as something that would both cut but definitely burn at the same time, burn your skin.
Yeah, you would get like a third, fourth, fifth degree burn probably. Um,
Right. Yeah.
what do you think of what I just said if you were able to pick it up with your ears?
Well, I think that these different companies are really interesting. It sounds like you do a lot of research on the different companies, and that each company presents a different saber for a different type for a different person. That's what I think. Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody owns a lightsaber. I don't know if anybody that is blind in the saber community, but if you are, welcome to the fun of saber talk. Um, and I'm basically learning how to hold the lightsaber. I don't have it yet in my hands, but I am basically practicing the motion and the holding positions with my bare naked hands. Like nothing is in my hands. Um,
Right.
I'm just I'm just practicing the motion, like how to hold it, swing and getting my hands ready to hold the actual hilt when it comes.
I see. So you have to practice your technique of where you put your fingers and stuff like that.
Yeah. And the people making my saber, I asked about the buttons and they said they're going to light up so I can see the illuminating light from the buttons. But I asked, is there a way to have the saber talk to me? Kind of like how talkback or voiceover or voice through screen reader does.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and the guy said that they'll try to incorporate that. Because it would be pretty neat if you're blind and get a lightsaber prop from, say, Saberforge. Um, Imagine if they took a hilt, that's the handle of the lightsaber. It's called the hilt, spelled Hilt, hilt. That's basically the handle, the part where you hold of the lightsaber. So if anybody
Isn't
says, like, if anybody knows what a hilt is, it's basically the handle part that you hold of the saber. And if you like, you can go ahead. Um,
yeah, and yeah, and I think you're trying to make a point. Yeah, so yeah, people hold the hilt, right? And then you were trying to say something about that if it was accessible, the lightsaber would like talk to you and like give you good directions.
like, imagine if I felt for the ignition, and imagine it saying, ignition button, tap to ignite. Like, that would be pretty cool.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that might already. There's got to be a way to make that accessible for you. I'm sure that there is a way to do it. The point that I would like to make though about these types of things is that when companies release products, you have to consider, really the population. I agree. I think it's great that you're so passionate about your lightsabers, but how many other blind people, and by the way, I'm not saying you're the slightest bit wrong. I'm just saying let's think how many other blind people are interested in sabers, so you have to take that into consideration.
I don't know how many there are, not except for me, at least for now.
Right, but
Um,
my point that I'm making about it is that for a company to produce an accessible product, and this is always very problematic, it has to be profitable for the company. It can't just be profitable for Melissa Dewhurst. It has to be profitable for Saberforge. Um, so unless the companies that produce the saber can profit from developing accessible sabers, then they are not going to produce or invent or even have a patent, even have a license to be able to produce such thing. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm sorry. That is how it tends to work. If there's not enough demand, they aren't going to spend the energy on the
that's
production.
that's kind of sad. Because
It
is
it
it me or
is.
am I? Is it me or am I the only visually impaired Star Wars nerd?
Well,
Like,
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you. I agree with you. I think it is sad. It's very sad, Melissa, that the world is like that. But that's just how the world is.
the best you can do is feel the buttons of your hilt because they're really tactile. So, um,
Right. So besides the ignition, the thing that would turn on the gas or turn on the saber, or really the light of the saber, which in the film is always depicted as a gas, just a big gas flame, basically. What other buttons are on the hilt?
Yeah, and the good thing for right now is that they're super tactile. I'll be able to feel them, as well as the guy making mine. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing They're doing everything for free for me, as it's a gift. And he and they
Aw.
decided to incorporate. They decided to incorporate a little bit of accessibility, probably not too much speaking, like say
Mm-hmm.
voiceover on your phone, but they're gonna give me a light up ignition switch so I can find it by its light, and it'll be like lighting up, as if to say ignition button over here. um, and I'll see the light emanating from the button, feel for it with my thumb, and bzzz. Yeah.
I see.
Um,
I see. And what color light are you going to get? What color light does it produce?
Mine, I'll be able to swap the colors because of the golden harvest board, but I'm mostly leaning towards green, a green blade.
Hmm. But would you be able to switch the color automatically?
Yeah, they said there's going to be another button that will allow me to go through the settings and menu, especially the color selection. Um, like they said that they're going to post a video for me on YouTube so I can learn how to use it. Like they're going to post the guys making my saber. Once they build it, they're going to post a tutorial video of how to handle the saber, how to use it, how to care for it, and so on and so forth.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Melissa, I think that this saber, in the sense, I think that what they're doing is great. I think that's really wonderful. That's really nice of them, and I hope that they are able to. Um, yeah, I think that's interesting. So, and how do you take care of a saber, by the way?
Well, not counting cleaning, um, basically proper handling, you know, how to charge the battery, or as we call it in universe, power cell. Um, in Star Wars universe, power cell, but Earth universe is called battery. Um, and like they're gonna teach me how to charge the hilt when the battery gets low, how to hold the saber, how to activate the different buttons, where the different buttons are,
Mm-hmm.
and the emitter, which is the part where the blade shoots out of.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a circle guard, or a tuba as it's called, not to be confused with the instrument tuba, but a circle shaped handguard where the emitter sits.
Yeah, yeah, where the flame kind of jumps out in the movie. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what that would do was tell me where to stop. So even though I'm not gonna really hurt myself, but I will just have a hey, stop here, you can't go anymore.
Hmm.
That's what the circle shaped guard is gonna do. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's basically a circle shaped guard. If anybody's seen Star Wars, um, there's a Jedi who uses it's a cartoon on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should say the title of the movie here.
No, let's just be safe than sorry now.
Oh, okay. But there's a Star Wars cartoon on Disney Plus I watch where there's a Jedi who uses this particular hilt, and his emitter is similar to mine with the circle shaped guard, and that Jedi that uses it is inspired me. It's basically this character in this cartoon is a blind knight. Knight spelled knight spelled Knight, like
Right.
as in warrior knight.
As in a
Um,
Jedi Knight, for instance.
yeah, and this knight is blind, and he has the same emitter and hilt as I kind of do. but not exact to my design though. His is different, but the emitter is the same, like with the circle shaped guard and all that. And he inspired me to come up with the design I have. Like my hilt is semi similar to his with the emitter, but I custom designed the hilt, like where the ignition switch will go, where the pommel is, how long the hilt should be. That's what I designed in my specifications. And
Well,
they're
that's
now
well, great.
and they're now taking that design and bringing it to real life in a sense as of right now. Things are slow due to what, um, but the hilt is in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I know it seems like a long way, and granted it is, but they are kind of in a way teaching patience. It'll come, and we're basically waiting on the Golden Harvest soundboard. They're still working things out with it before they release it, as they don't want anything to malfunction for me, because they understand my low vision. They know that I'm legally blind and want a hilt that works so perfect that I don't have to worry too much, which is kind of nice of them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And how did you find this person who was willing to build you this thing for free?
Um, I don't know if I should say the name of the group I went to, but to keep it safe for Aaron,
Right.
basically. But to basically sum it all up, I went to a Facebook Saber hangout and chat page on Facebook. Said, hey, I typed this out with dictation, and I said, hey, anybody doing a lightsaber giveaway? Smiley face, and I posted. And the next thing I know, I get all those rude comments of, hey, you gotta pay for it, and this and that. And suddenly, I hear a ping, which is from my Facebook Messenger, um, which is a messaging app I have, and they messaged me, oh Mel, they shouldn't be treating you like that. No, you don't deserve that, Mel. You deserve a saber. And they VC'd with me and said how, wow, Mel, that was rude of them. You deserve a saber, blah, 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 blah. And in the VC chat, because I VC'd with him, I've video chatted with these guys as well. And they basically said how they're going to design my, hilt to reality. And they said how they saw my design on Facebook because I posted my design to Facebook on my page, and they found interest in that. And now here they are making it, and it's like pretty nice, like to have somebody. And I told them about, hey, careful, I don't see too well, and I explained about my left and right eye and how my left eye is blind and right eye is nearsighted with low tunnel vision. And they were like, oh, no worries, we'll design a saber to your specs, as well as your vision impairment, no worry. And now,
Mm.
here they are building it. Um, like,
Well,
it's pretty awesome.
I think, on one hand, I mean, did you go to a normal group on Facebook that was like a serious group for this type of thing that specializes in this saber thing?
Yeah, I went to one of the saber community pages, like groups. Um, think of something similar to the blind and visually impaired group, but it's about saber talk rather than vision impairment.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just like on Facebook how I'm in a lot of reptile groups. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a reptile group without reptiles and a lot of sabers, right?
yeah, and they saw my comments pretty much. They read the comments under my post that's asking for a lightsaber giveaway. I
Mm-hmm.
was hanging out. I was hanging out in the group for a little while, and then one day I finally decided, after hearing about all these amazing hills, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, anybody doing a lightsaber giveaway?" Question mark. And that's when I get all the rude comments of, "Hey, you gotta save up, you gotta pay,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's when,
Well, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about it off the air because I have an idea. I'm not going to say it on the show, but I don't know if it's a good or bad idea. I know I can't say it on the show. Is there when we hang up, there is a comment that I want to make about that because you know it's not some. I mean, I'm so happy for you that there will that it's some legitimate person. Did you? By the way, I'm not by simply asking all these questions. I'm not at all saying that you didn't do your research. But so I mean, did you like research who this person was who was messaging you and saying that they would? Did you kind of like fact check it and make sure that it was someone who was like legitimately like supposed to be making the sabers?
yeah, it wasn't, easy because of my low vision, you know. At the time, I was still getting used to accessibility, like I was still getting used to narrator and all that. But I basically, this guy also gave me his website as well as his Facebook and YouTube, and I subscribed to him on YouTube, checked out his videos, and the videos had him, showing off the sabers he made, because this guy makes
Hmm. Hmm.
sabers too.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it off the air. Um yeah, I'll leave it there. Let's talk about it. I have some follow-up questions. But yeah, let's talk about it off the air. I'm glad that he did that. And I want to learn more about I want to learn more about that. So that's really good. Anytime that someone has the courage to help someone with who is blind or really in this day and age, Melissa, having nothing to do with you for a minute, anytime that someone helps someone else in any way, that's really a lot with the world that we
Yeah,
live in. So
it,
I greatly appreciate that. And I want to learn more about that. So good, good. When are you supposed to get your saber?
there's not a specific date yet. They're working really hard. And I even
Mm-hmm.
asked them, hey, is there a specific date? And they said that they'll let me know, they'll keep me updated and posted, as in, we'll let you know what happens.
Right.
And this is like pretty neat, saber accessibility, comic accessibility should, you know, be incorporated to the customer that's getting a saber in case if it's a blind customer, at least do it for them and do all the
Mm.
others. This way the blind person isn't struggling, with their hill. Because I'm legally blind and I struggle hard enough.
Mm.
Not counting straining, but things can be out of focus from time to time with my glasses. But comic accessibility, I feel, is the biggest issue of all. This way, you know, this way, blind fans can read Comics too.
And I agree. Um, I don't know the issue that I think is is more prevalent, and I mean they're equally valid. However, the issue that is more prevalent, in today's world, I think would be the sabers because there's a whole industry for Star Wars. I mean, there's a whole Star Wars park that's going to open up in Florida. So, mm,
I heard about that,
yeah,
and
when is it going to open?
it's been already open.
Ooh.
However, due to the virus, Disney has closed off until further notice.
I was guessing that. I was wondering, is Disney World like completely like shut down? Like in a complete like closed?
Well, it's closed, as in nobody can enter or isn't allowed to enter.
Okay, so Disney World has shut down. So the whole
Pretty
Disney
much.
company has shut down. So do you think the entire Disney company has shut down?
Not the not the websites, but the park
Hmm.
has closed. The parks like Disney World and Disneyland too have all closed down.
I think, yeah, Melissa, I think they closed down all the parks, all the stations. Paris,
Yeah.
Tokyo, Taiwan. There's probably another one somewhere, but those are the famous ones. I think they shut down the whole. That's, I mean, I've never thought of that. I guess they shut down the whole system. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that's really bad. Well, this is really bad for everybody, but yeah. I was going to say that's really bad for Disney, but then again, the truth is it's really bad for everybody who has the virus. It's bad for everything. This is all bad. Yes, that's it's all very interesting.
Like
Well,
this is
the
this
Star
is
Wars park is going to be owned by Universal, right?
well, it's owned by Disney Star Wars. Um
Oh, so Disney. Oh, so Disney is going to own the Star Wars branch.
yeah. They've been
Oh,
owning it for a while now. Um and like it's because of Disney that we have episodes 7, 8, 9. Like that's where we got the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, and now the Rise of Skywalker. From a movies standpoint, but Disney now basically owns Star Wars as a whole.
right. Well, that's great. That's really. I mean, wow, this is really cool. So, have you ever been to the Star Wars park?
No, I was about to go to Disney World until I got, the big S word, um, you know, scammed.
Ooh, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know about that, Melissa. You didn't tell me, right? Well, goodness,
Well,
you don't. Well, you didn't. You don't. I'm confused. You didn't need to tell me about that. Oh,
yeah, but I hope to go the next time. I'll
oh,
I'll make sure to bring my cane and rent that little audio description device I talked about last podcast.
I see. I see. Well, good, good.
You know that blue little box looking device?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Disney has. It's basically an audio description device. And you put headphones on, and through audio, it'll say, "You're in Pandora. You're in, you know, this part of the park or that part of the park." It'll say the name of the park you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
Good.
choose between and you can choose between full description, detailed description, or like it's pretty cool. If anybody's ever tried that and went to Disney World and tried that device.
I mean, I've heard of it. I've never used it. The last time I was in Disney, I was maybe 19. Was 8 or 9 years. It was a long. It was almost 10 years ago, actually.
Wow. I wish
Yeah,
I
that
could go
is
to I never been to Disney World ever. If I do go, it's gonna end up being my first time.
interesting. Hmm.
Um, Hopefully there's still enough time left. Um,
Well, let me.
'Cause you said 45 minutes tops or something.
Yeah, we have. I can give you another. I can give you a 10 to 12. Well, let's do another 15 minutes. I think.
Um, I hope you're not upset with that person's generosity when it comes to my saber. Um,
No,
I don't mean to make
no,
people jealous.
no,
Sorry
not
if
at
any.
all. Not at all. And I'm going to ask for something. I'm going to say something specific just off the air about it. It's all good. It's all good. I just want to make a comment, but it's a comment that I really can't make on the air. It would be,
Oh, I know that.
yeah, it's one of those types of things. I do want to comment about it, but um, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like explore more, pretty much.
The what?
Like when we're off stream, you want to explore more about it.
Yeah, kind of. Yes. So, well, I hope that you certainly get to Disney and Star Wars um, when this Corona virus, when our country gets through this. I really hope that you are able to go to those parks. I think, of course, it would be more exciting for you to go to the Star Wars park with your lightsaber after you get it. That would be very, very exciting.
But Disney has rules and guidelines, though. Um, Also, they have a dress up code, so you have to dress up very carefully. You don't want to emulate characters. Um, that's the Disney number one rule. Um,
I I see why. Because now, why is that?
Confusion. Because when people see characters, they think, oh, like, hey, there's Ray, there's Chewie, there's Han. And I think it's because of Disney's safety thing. Like, they don't want people to confuse, the park characters for people just dressing up and going, is that a character or is that like basic all around? They're trying to avoid basic all around confusion.
I
If you
see.
look
I
up
see.
if you look up Disney dress code, um, Disney Parks dress code, it should come up with something on Google.
Right. Yeah, I think every park basically has a dress code these days that everybody would have to follow. I think what it is that they don't. It really has to do with copyright too. They don't want you to imitate too much to certain characters. They want to pay people to train people to wear certain costumes and imitate that persona.
Yeah, like cast members are allowed to be characters, but not guests over over 14. Like if you're a teenager and up, you can't dress as a character. Like you can't a girl can't be like I can't dress up as Ray. Um, you know, or I can't dress up as Leia Organa in the full. But
I
a
see. And
cast member,
who's the second person?
well, a boy can't dress as Luke Skywalker. Well, a teen boy or adult man can't dress as Luke Skywalker at the park. Like only cast members can do that. If you know what I mean by cast member.
Yeah, the parks hire a staff of people to wear costumes. It's a very, very challenging job. You have to wear the costume for a long period of time. You walk around. You have to stay in personality the whole time. It's very challenging.
In
Mm,
character. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Like, for example, when it comes to the dress code, I can't dress as Ray in full, but a cast member can.
Right.
Um,
So that's all interesting. I think that in this day and age, I think the parks are very concerned with safety. Is the
Yeah.
safety is the main concern, is the number one concern. Number two concern is profit is of a park. Yeah. Hmm.
Profit as in money. If anybody is listening to this, he means money. Um,
Well, we know that people are listening. We know that people are listening to this thing. Yes.
oh, I can't see the chat. Um,
Well, it's not live. It's not a live. It's a recording, and this is what gets
oh,
uploaded. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because a live stream, I can read the chat with my screen reader and go, "Hey guys, what's up?" Blah 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 blah. and
Right. Yeah. I've done very few of those live streams. I tend to think that it gets distracting, and I think that people don't appreciate it as much as a recording. I think.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically when this guy live streamed last night in the Saber community, what will happen is the video will be like a normal video, but to the right of that will be a long box, rectangle shaped
Mm-hmm.
box
Mm-hmm.
with people talking, and there'll be a little spot which will say, and we'll be able to find it with our screen readers, but you sighties will see, type message and blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
blah, and you can type a message and it'll come up in the chat, and the person that's recording the stream will be able to see your comment and go, "Hey, what's up?" in the video. Hi, insert like for example, this guy, when he saw my comment in the chat, he went, "Hey, Melissa's World, what's up?"
Right, right, exactly. Or you're saying that he replied to your comment on his YouTube video, and you were signed
Yeah.
into your channel page, so he pushed reply, and he went scrolled down to your comment, and then he went to the reply tab to reply directly back to you.
Plus, he also did it through voice, because the video is live, so it's in real time. You know, kind of like how
Wow.
Facebook's, kind of like how it is with Facebook. When you stream, it'll say live video, and then it'll say how many people are watching, and
Hmm.
and when the stream it's in real time, so the guy will be able to read your comment, and like he'll be in the video looking through the comments and through voice. "Hey, Moses World, what's up?" And that's when I asked the guy about Saber accessibility and how interesting it could be to help, and he was like interested, like he raised an eyebrow, kind of deal, and well, that sounds interesting. I'll consider it.
And is this the same guy who then offered to build you one for free?
No, somebody else. I don't know if the guy making my lightsaber does streams. I'll ask him a little after we VC. Um,
Right.
because I can only talk to two people at a time, you know. But some sites will allow multiple VC, like some sites where it allows you to VC with 2, 3, 4 people at the same time. Like Facebook kind of does this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Facebook tries to do that. Um, but again, that gets very out of control. I
Yeah,
think the quality of the conversation, goes down. Hmm.
crazy. Even though it's probably audio.
Right.
Um, and that's why I only limit myself to 2, 3 people. Um, as a maximum.
Hmm.
Because I would be on Discord. Get this, I would be on Discord, Discord, because I have a Discord, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people will come on the VC chat. It's a voice channel on Discord I have, It ranges from text channels to voice chat channels. You can customize the channels if you're a server owner. Um, like for example, I'm the owner of my Not Real Language Culture and Community server,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll be able to edit how many channels, what the channels names are. Whereas people that come in are lower and they can't do that unless I give them the role of server owner, because you can assign roles and it'll change, to that particular role. Like for example, on my server, I'm labeled as server owner to put it safely. Um, I gave myself the role of not saber, but server, as in Discord server owner, and that makes me in charge of the whole server because one, I made it, but I also gave myself the role to be safe.
Mm.
Yeah, and people that are below me are basically members. Members can't change the name of channels and ban people. Only I can do that. Or if somebody is under me in the same role, like they're a moderator and they're helping me, like that sort of thing.
Right. Right. Well, that's good. That's good. And I think, Melissa, I think that Discord and the use of Discord might be a really good topic for next time. Now, I want to wrap it up. Is there anything else, one final thing that you want to say to Aaron Show and our listeners from around the world?
I say in Navi Siva go rise to the challenge. Um,
And that, I loved the way you ended our show today. That was another, by the way, stay on the line. Please do not hang up. You've been listening to Aaron Show, the podcast for blind people, where we talk today about issues in the blindness community, especially about comics and lightsabers. May the force may the force be with you, as they say in Star Wars, and everybody rise to the challenge. As we say, we at Aaron Show hope that everybody around the world stays safe, wash your hands, and we hope that everybody gets better and stays well very, very soon. Have a good day today and a great day tomorrow.